What do loan sharks, cash money, community,
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Me llamo T-Bone, la araña discoteca.
Discoteca, muñeca, la biblioteca.
no, not the TV show, and drugs have in common? It's not obvious at first, but I'll explain why these are 4 poverty interventions that just make sense. You may have seen my last video highlighting the 5 reasons to focus on ending poverty and why poverty reduction leads to a healthy and happy society. But in this video, I really wanted to break down some of the interventions that have worked and why they've been good or bad. To get us started, here's intervention number 1, microfinance. So the majority of the world's poor work in agriculture, and in the 90s and 2000s, microfinance boomed as a way to help reduce poverty in the agricultural sector, where reducing poverty could have the greatest impact. In many cases, microfinance can help to reduce poverty, providing a much needed cash injection in order to help farmers produce more food on their land. But growth in agricultural productivity is expensive. Irrigation channels have to be dug, fertilizer has to be bought, and farmers have to be taught about the latest methods to increase the productivity of their land. Microfinance provides credit to the poorest in society, and particularly to farmers. Now, institutions that provide microfinance seem to be everywhere, but it does come with caveats. After all, a loan is still a loan. Often, microfinance institutions do not provide adequate oversight or monitoring, and interest rates can average a whopping 37%, leading to a debt trap which keeps people stuck in cycles of poverty. So imagine this: a small scale farmer spends $100, buys some seeds, gets some help to plow his land, and spends some money on irrigating his crops. And then, for whatever reason, the crop fails and he doesn't make the money. Not only does he have to pay back the original $100, he also has to pay back 37 extra dollars, which where is he supposed to get that money from? So what happens is it keeps people stuck in cycles of poverty forever. Some studies have even found that in certain communities, those who took microfinance loans had little economic growth compared to those who did not. Still, if done well, it is one of the most powerful tools in our toolbox. If microfinance only has mixed results, what could possibly replace it in the future? Number 2, UBI. UBI gets me all giddy. Okay, UBI, or the Universal Basic Income, is the concept of providing every adult a basic wage, regardless of whether they are in work, own a business, or are unemployed. The idea is to give everyone in the world a basic standard of living so that no one would fall into poverty. The world's largest test of UBI has been undertaken since 2016 by an organization called Give Directly, and the findings are as expected for the glass half full among us. To put it simply, this study found that long-term transfers of approximately $20 a month to villages in Kenya had wide-ranging positive economic impacts. Now, the results are too in-depth to go into fully here, and perhaps I'll do another video about this specifically if people are interested, but the link to the study is in the description. It found that enterprise counts, revenues, costs, and net revenues increased by 14, 41, 35, and 52%. The largest economic growth came from investment in businesses outside of agriculture. So, for example, the starting of a small shop. Crucially, the study found that economic growth in entire regions was impacted as the demand for products increased. Supply chains had to be developed to provide those products and to sell them. This quickly provided a snowball effect. Critics of UBI often tout lazy tropes of people sitting around doing nothing, spending the free cash on drugs and alcohol, but crucially, the researchers found no evidence that any of the payments discouraged work or increased purchases of alcohol. In fact, so many people who used to work for wages instead started businesses that there was less competition for wage work, and overall wages in villages rose as a result. One further positive from this study was that communities came together and used the money to form savings and investment groups, enabling them to access higher levels of finance without needing to make long journeys to banks. And so this brings us to number 3, community. Communities are often one of the strongest tools for reducing poverty. By working together with government grants, social workers, and other state interventions, big changes can be made relatively easily. Also, communities would often rather take ownership and lead their own projects to improve their lives over having outsiders attempt to do it for them. And research has shown that community-targeted interventions have tremendous potential to benefit the poor. Problems happen when organizations use a one-size-fits-all approach to reducing poverty. Community initiatives designed and targeted to specific problems and with oversight from organizations can lead to vast improvements at a much reduced cost in certain areas. One area that community based interventions frequently tackle is healthcare. So here's number 4, healthcare. Now, I know certain countries shudder at the thought of socialized medicine, not looking at any one particular USA, but adequate healthcare is one of the most important drivers of poverty reduction. If people have good health, they may be more able to attend school, they may be more productive both in the workplace and in society at large, and they're more able to maintain control over themselves and their ability to provide for themselves and their families. And regardless of the outcomes, health is something that every person should be able to have for themselves anyway. Illness is the leading cause of poverty in China, and in the US, healthcare costs are the number one cause of bankruptcy, which is just nuts. The British part of me cannot handle that. But whilst in poorer nations, childhood diseases can lead to lifelong illness that can remove their ability to work as an adult, providing adequate healthcare contributed to annual growth in full income of the initial value of GDP of 1.8% per year in the period 2000 to 2011, making it one of the most important drivers of economic development and alleviators of poverty. So the next time someone complains about their tax funding someone else's healthcare, simply tell them to and that a healthy society means a healthier wallet for everyone. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like more further reading, resources, and rambling thoughts about my life, sign up to the newsletter, the link to which is in the description below.